All right, so this week we're back on the Ducati 748. We're trying to figure out why it just dies. And I have a few thoughts. It's either the kickstand or the relay. I guess it's like an ignition relay. So we're going to see if it's either one of those. So what it'll do is kickstand up, try to start it. It's like that. There's like this weird stumble. So it's either, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping it's something easy, like one of those two. But if it's neither of those, then this video will end anticlimactically, and I'll need you guys to help me figure it out. But so what we're going to do first is we're going to see if the switch for the kickstand is normally open or normally closed, and we should be able to hotwire it to hopefully say whether that is it or not. But I think first, just to access the switch and access everything like that, we're going to take off the fenders first. Fairings. We're going to take off the fairings. Okay, so we got the side fenders off, side fairings. So on this Ducati, it has a sensor on the kickstand because it wants to know if the kickstand is down. I think that they feel like it idles kind of rough, so it would actually fall over. So they have this on here so that if the kickstand's down, it actually won't cycle the ignition and the fuel pump and all that. So now if this has a bad signal, maybe it's coming in and out. So we're following this up, and there's a connection right here. So what we're going to test first is we're going to get this. We have our voltmeter set on continuity, so touch these together or anything metallic, it lets you know that there's a signal coming through. So what we'll do is we'll put these alligator clips on just because it'll be a little bit easier to cycle through. I will have a link in the description for all of this. And it doesn't matter, positive, negative, negative to positive. All right, so you can see right there. Now I'm wiggling this around to see if it comes in and out. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it is. So we probably just ruled this out. But what we could do, since when it's down, it is not completing a circuit. So normally open. So when it's like this, it's completing the circuit. So what we could do is right here is just run a little jumper wire from there to there, and that should completely bypass this in case it is the issue. So I'm going to just cut a little wire, jump it from there to there, and then we'll start it up to see if it still has the same issue. And if it does, then I think we're going to need to check the relays. All right, so right here I just pushed in a little jumper. It doesn't need to look pretty, it's just jumping it over. As you can see, the kickstand is fully disconnected. So we're going to go over here and try to start it back up and see if it stumbles. Sounds like it. Seems like if it's under 2,000 RPM, it seems to stumble. Over 2,000, it seems like it's enough to catch it as it comes back on, but we've ruled out the kickstand, so we're going to put all that back together, and I guess we're on to the relays now. All right, so now I'm on the other side of the bike, right next to the battery, pulling out all the relays. I did check all of the fuses, check the 40 amp fuse, so I'm just going to push all these out of this rubber grommet so that we can hopefully start to figure out who is who and what is what. Ideally, I would just grab all these off of one of the other bikes and just swap everything over and see if it works. So I don't know, maybe we'll do that. Okay, so we tried changing out the relays, nothing worked. It all was pretty much the same. I changed it out with some of the bikes in there, still nothing. So the last ditch effort here is possibly the crank position sensor. So it looks pretty similar to the ones on those bikes. So since it's just right here and one connector, I'm just gonna see if we can change it out and see if it works. So fingers crossed on that. Okay, so I replaced the crank position sensor off of the, right there, the black Ducati 900. It was the same 3-pin, the whole thing. So here's the one that was on here, you know, because this one basically only has 2,000 miles on it, but we're kind of running out of options of what it could be here. So we're hoping it's this, and then all I'll have to do is order another one. Also, this is quite the bugger to get on, I will say, because it's like right here where the other one, since they're not water cooled, it doesn't really have this part of it. So the sensor is a little bit easier to get on, but let's see if we start it and let's see what happens. Still tumbling. Okay, well that was not it. Still stumbling, even with a different crank position sensor, different relays. Wow, we're kind of running out of options here. Okay, we've gone through everything and nothing has worked. We've checked all the fuses, changed out these relays. I don't have a backup for this relay, so if it's that one, maybe it's that one. I changed out the relays in the back. We changed out the crank position sensor. Kind of don't know at this point what it could be. I'll let you guys listen to it one more time. So it under 2,000 RPM, it kind of stumbles. Right there. Then every now and again it just shuts off like a light switch. So yeah, if you guys have any ideas, that would be much appreciated. Hate to end off this week's video kind of on a failure, or not really sure what's going on with it, but could you use your guys' help? If anybody knows what's going on, please leave it down in the comments. We checked the kickstand switch, we bypassed it. Not really sure what else we could do except for maybe hot wiring it in a way where we're bypassing all of these switches, any other safeties, and then slowly bring them back in to see what it is. I checked the ground on the ECU, it seems good. So, I don't know. Leave it down in the comments, let me know.